see, it's pretty much 12:15 a.m. in the morning. I'm recording this after my reactions and debating of the video, but I just want to let you guys know these are my opinions. You don't have to agree, but I want you guys to leave your opinions of what you guys think of the brand split down in the comment section down below. As you guys see, we got a new hashtag, get JC3 to 100 subscribers. That'll be so cool. And I thank all you guys for subscribing. But yeah, please share, like, comment, subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, what's going on YouTube land? It's your boy JC3, and I gotta be real quiet because it's, as you can see, 11:40 at night when I'm recording this. But someone got to me on Twitter. His name is Mike. I'll leave his link in the description down below. You guys get him with the follow. But he was talking about me about making a video on the brand split of WWE. So I thought, okay, why not? So right here, I'm going to show you a few articles of what I found online. I'm going to read it to you guys, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on it. So let's get right into this. As you see, this is from Wrestlezone. This is where I get all my wrestling news from. I like them. They're really good. The link to their YouTube channel will be in the description as well. As you see here, they got some really good stuff. Over 100,000 subscribers. As you see, you know, big WWE star headed to TNA. You know, they give you the update on news. You know, AJ Styles being buried. So go ahead if you want. Go ahead and check them out on YouTube. Leave them a subscription. I'll put their links in the description as well. See, they got some really good stuff on here. As you see, loser to main roster right here, you know. So yeah, I'll leave their link in the description below. But let's get back to this article. It is titled "Everything You Need to Know About the WWE Brand Split and Smackdown Going Live, Possibility of 2 World Titles, Roster Draft, and More." As you see, this is the video of their YouTube channel they put it on there. See, like, it's right there. And if you guys want, feel free to check it out. It's pretty much what I'm going to read right now. It says, in today's Wrestle Talk news, we covered everything that you need to know about the WWE Brand Split, Smackdown going live. It says, our top story is so big that today's entire episode is devoted to it. The WWE Brand Split is returning. We'll start with Smackdown. For the first time in almost its 17-year history, the show will now air live every week from the 19th of July. It will air on Tuesdays on USA Network. Okay. This has been rumored ever since the show moved to USA Network, which is also the home to WWE's flagship show, Raw, and the hiring of respected sports announcer Mauro Ranallo earlier this year. I probably botched his name, but in the press release announcing the move, WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon said, WWE's flagship programs will both leverage the incredible depth of our talent roster, distinct storylines, and unpredictable nature of live TV. This move will undoubtedly build more excitement and deepen engagement with our fans around the world. This means WWE will air at least 5 hours of live programming a week, with that amount going up to around 8 when there is a pay-per-view. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that's 8 hours. And if you watch NXT, that's an extra hour. So that means you're going to get 9 hours of wrestling in about 4 days. Because I like to separate. I wish they kept SmackDown on Friday, like, because, you know, WWE, they don't wrestle on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And we all know Thursday Night SmackDown was recorded on Tuesdays. That's why they made the move. But, you know, 9 hours of wrestling could be a lot of wrestling for just one person. And, you know, you could lose interest in it so fast, after watching 9 hours of wrestling. If there's not a pay-per-view, it's still 6 hours of wrestling, which is still a lot. So we'll see how it turns out. Okay, where did we leave off on? Going up to around 8 hours when there's a pay-per-view, or just short of a gazillion when it's WrestleMania weekend. Smackdown will also be aired live in the UK from the same date. So UK people, you will watch it same day, same everything, live everywhere around the world. It will be interesting to see this, how this affects the WWE audience. Many have been critical of Raw's 3-hour duration, which is me, because 3 hours, the WWE has so many wrestlers injured right now that they need star power and they don't have it right now. As you see, we're starting to get some people back. I see, I love Raw, the first 2 hours are good, but by the time that 3rd hour hits, it's like 10 to 11 on the West Coast where I live, and I'm tired as hell. I'm losing interest, and that's when they're usually putting on, like, the Social Outcast and, that until the main event, so it's easy to get, bored and you just want to fall asleep. And sometimes I even end up recording and watching the next day with the DVR, so it's going to be interesting to see 9 hours of wrestling. And commentary team, oh my god, that commentary team. Michael Cole, please retire, please. I've been watching wrestling for over like 10 years now, and man, I've been watching Michael Cole since he was on SmackDown, for Pete's sake. Like, him and Taz, like, come on, Michael Cole, please. Bring JR back or something. Let's get some fresh faces on the commentary team. Like Corey Graves. Hell, put Daniel Bryan on the commentary team. He's retired, but that doesn't mean he can't commentate. Okay, so let's continue. This might see viewer drop watching Raw and end up just following SmackDown instead, which brings us on to the next part. The WWE Brand Split returning. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I think this is going to be horrible for Raw. This was a horrible decision for Raw, but it's going to benefit SmackDown so much. So much. Because with the amount of roster we have right now, we get bored of Raw during the last hour. And because you could say it's the wrestlers, there's not enough star power on Raw. So you could say that whole Raw roster, chop it in half. So you're going to have half the Raw roster with less superstars for 3 hours. So that means you're going to be seeing more of, like, the Social Outcast, Fandango. You're seeing more of, like, Tyler Breeze, the Ascension if they come back. and I'm pretty sure Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Adam Rose are like, dang it, why did I ask for my release? Because guaranteed, if Wade Barrett was still here right now in the WWE, he would have become world champion on either show. You're gonna be seeing different champions. You're gonna start seeing like Miz start winning the main championship on either Raw or SmackDown. You're gonna see Rusev win either championships. You're gonna start seeing Cesaro win WWE championships. Because there's not enough roster for Raw for 3 hours. So, and that's when bringing up people say, why don't you just bring up NXT rosters? Well, here's the thing: NXT is a developmental place. So that's where you go to get better. So you're saying push them up. So that means you're getting people that are probably not ready to be on the main roster, and you're just shoving them up there. Like, I don't know, like you're probably going to be seeing No Way Jose, who's new to NXT, be on there in the next, in like a month or two, to be honest. You're gonna be seeing Shinsuke Nakamura. Nothing against him. He's amazing. His match with AJ Styles at Wrestling Kingdom 10 with New Japan was amazing. I see, them advancing. You're gonna start seeing Eric Young wherever he went. He had one match and you haven't seen him. Austin Aries. You're gonna see those guys get pushed up. You're gonna start seeing those guys become champions. But what that means is WWE's gonna have to recruit more people for NXT. Because then NXT's gonna start running out of people. And there's like 6 divas on like NXT. You got like Alexis Bliss, The Rock's niece, I keep forgetting her name, Nia Jax. You got Asuka, Bayley. Those divas are gonna get pushed up too. So you can't get wrestlers that aren't ready and move them to the main roster. That's what I'm trying to say. Because there's always room for improvements. I personally, I don't think Baron Corbin was ready. I think he needs to work on his mic skills. And that's where you do it. You do it at NXT. So pushing him, I don't think was pushing NXT roster is going to be a good thing. But this is what I was thinking of. This is my idea for NXT. I remember when it was SmackDown versus Raw, they did a draft every year, like one day every year, where you'd have the SmackDown roster, Raw roster, and then you'd put one SmackDown person against one Raw person. Whoever won got a draft pick off the other team. So like, let's say Raw beat SmackDown. Raw would get a draft pick and get to pick any person on the SmackDown roster. It was a computerized pick, random. So what I was thinking was, instead of doing that, you could still have SmackDown versus Raw compete, but whoever wins gets a draft pick from NXT, because that would give them at least a year to be developed, get more developed, be better in the ring, better mic skills. That's what I think would be good. So that's my thoughts on that, like the NXT part getting involved. But let me continue reading this. Okay, the announcement of SmackDown going live is also going to include huge news. The WWE Brand Split will be returning. That's right, Raw and SmackDown will now have their own distinct rosters, unique storylines, and separate writing teams. And another thing is, I think they talk about it right here. The original Brand Split was instituted in 2002 as a way to showcase the enormous amount of talent that flooded WWE after the collapse of WCW and ECW. This saw everything from brand-specific pay-per-views, 2 world titles, and arguably the best in-ring era in the history of the company with SmackDown 6. What? I won't lie, SmackDown, like back then, they both had good rosters, but that's because they had enough wrestlers, But over the years, you had like Drew McIntyre, who's now with TNA. You had Ezekiel Jackson, Vladimir Kozlov, the Great Khali. You had so many wrestlers that are now not with the company. You had Rey Mysterio. You had Chavo Guerrero. You had Deuce and Domino, who was like tag teams. I mean, it got to the point where like they weren't running out. They were running out of tag teams, so they started putting just randomly 2 people together, like what they did now with like the Golden Truth and Fabrice. 2 random people put them together. So let's continue this. By 2011, though, when the Brand Split was abandoned, the gimmick was a mockery, with wrestlers frequently appearing on both shows for no reason. That's the bad thing right now. Is like, this is what I think of. You have Raw, which is 3 hours, and then SmackDown is just a repeat of Raw, basically, with the same matches, in just 2 hours. One of the more exciting parts of the Brand Split, however, will be the annual talent draft that decides which wrestlers would appear on each show. F4W Online is reporting that the new era's draft is scheduled for the 11th of July. So expect to draft the 11th of July, which is about a month and a half away. And the majority of the talent does not know yet where they'll end up. Interestingly, Brock Lesnar is also advertised for the 11th July of Raw. So if you guys know, Brock Lesnar has always been on a SmackDown, he was on the cover of Smackdown. Here comes the pain, you know. So there might be a chance Brock Lesnar goes to Raw. But like I was saying, with this brand split, I don't think there's enough talent for Raw to last 3 hours. You're gonna start seeing lower card people, like I said, people that you haven't even seen in a while come up and wrestle. Like you're gonna see R-Truth and them winning. Heath Slater, you know, like people I haven't seen in a while. You're gonna see the Epico and Primo, you know, the rising stars of the Caribbean. You know, they're gonna start getting pushes, and what's also is gonna happen is like with the titles as the WWE, you know, Smackdown and Raw tag team titles, and the WWE World Heavyweight title combined. So what does that mean? You know, you're gonna have Seth Rollins be like, Roman Reigns, I challenge you for the WWE Championship only. So if I win, I get that, but you're still World Heavyweight Champion. Like, what? So with this being in place, are they gonna do like what Raw did with Eric Bischoff, where he just gave Triple H the World Heavyweight title? Like, how's this gonna work? You know, because you're gonna have the U.S. title on most likely SmackDown, the Intercontinental title on Raw, and you're gonna start seeing people like Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler, all in the title picture, which you guys thought were mid-carders. So, personally, I think Raw's gonna suffer badly from this, but SmackDown with 2 hours, you know, if they get Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, you know, a good amount of roster, you know, Sasha Banks would like to be on SmackDown because, you know, Eddie Guerrero was SmackDown, Brock Lesnar SmackDown, you know, you'll have probably the Whites on Raw, Roman Reigns on Raw, John Cena on Raw. I mean, John Cena, like, before the brand split, John Cena was on SmackDown as a mid-carder, and then when the brand split happened, he went to Raw and became WWE World Heavyweight WWE Champion, you know? Had the little spinner belt. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this works, but, you know, you're going to have 9 hours of wrestling sometimes. I think the draft's always been cool, you know? I've always enjoyed the draft. But I forget which year it was, but one draft pissed me off where you had, it was like 1 year SmackDown 1, they drafted John Cena back to SmackDown, and at the end of the show, Raw ended up winning the main event, and that same year they ended up drafting John Cena back to Raw. I was like, really? You just wasted 2 draft picks on John Cena? So, you know, I thought that was kind of dumb. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. You know, you're going to see Enzo and Cass on one team, on one show, the Dudleys on another, so you're going to be seeing new feuds. I mean, you still got to think about it, though. It's still going to be the PG era, you know. Back then, the brand split was happening. It was still, you know, TV-14, you know. They were still cursing, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know. The announce tables are going to be different. You're going to have lower card people get more opportunities. But like I said, Raw's going to suffer badly with this, I believe. But who knows? It might work out, you know. You're going to have to turn some people face in this when this happens. You're going to have to turn some people heel when this happens. I believe if this happens and Seth Rollins goes to SmackDown, you're either going to have to turn John Cena or Roman Reigns heel. You have to. You know, you're going to start seeing people like Kane and Big Show return. But this is pretty much my thoughts, you know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, you know. Of course, WWE's going to have to get more talents from Ring of Honor. Please bring Motor City Machine Guns, Triple H, if you watch this. They're my favorite tag team. Motor City Machine Guns are always fun to watch if you know who they are from NXT. You know, they're going to have to chase people from Lucha Underground. they're going to get people from TNA, people from NXT, and that's a lot of money right there, you know? That's a lot of money. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think 9 hours of Raw is going to be cool at first. Like, I think it's going to be cool at first, you know, but I think it's easily going to die down. I think Raw's going to suffer. SmackDown's going to be successful. NXT's going to need more talent when they push people up on the main roster. You know, you're going to see people like Sami Zayn win championships. Kevin Owens wins the championship. You know, we pretty much expect mid-card wrestlers to win championships when this happens. Expect the lower card people to win, you know, to become middle classes. You know, some people are going to stay in the lower where they stand now. But just expect this. Who knows, you might even see Tyler Breeze become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. They gave it to The Miz one year. He headlined WrestleMania, so it's gotta be interesting to see. Those are pretty much my thoughts. I don't think it's gonna work out at all, to be honest. You know, I'm excited to see what they do with it. And, you know, I could be completely wrong. This could be the most amazing thing they've done. But, you know, I think it's not going to work. But I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.